In the distant past, all forms of life were aquatic. However, at different stages of evolution, adventurous members of various animal species ventured onto land, even into the most arid deserts, carrying their personal seawater within their blood and in their cellular fluids. Besides the familiar reptiles, birds, mammals, and insects that surround us, there are other groups that have successfully adapted to life outside of water.
The ongoing and irresponsible application of synthetic chemicals to combat pests that endanger agricultural crops and human well-being is demonstrating counterproductive outcomes. In addition to causing extensive ecological disturbances, pesticides have led to the development of a new category of chemical-resistant, extremely dangerous superbugs.
Numerous ants are tiny and primarily scavenge in the leaf litter and debris on the ground, making manual collection challenging. One effective method of gathering them is by collecting the leaf litter where they forage and then extracting the ants from it. This is typically achieved by placing the leaf litter on a screen over a sizable funnel, often applying some heat during the process.
Rarely does the weather become as intense as when thunderstorms hit. Their electric fury results in around 500 deaths or severe injuries each year in the United States alone. As dark clouds loom overhead, a peaceful game of golf can swiftly turn into a frightening encounter with mortality. Out in the open, a solitary golfer might become the most appealing target for a lightning strike.
To measure the hours during the day, inventors devised sundials, which use the length or direction of the sun's shadow to indicate time. For nighttime tracking, they created water clocks. Among the early water clocks was a basin with a small hole near the bottom through which water dripped out. The decreasing water level indicated the passage of time as it crossed hour lines marked on the inner surface.
Starting from the 1970s, researchers in parapsychology from prestigious universities and research institutions globally have dared to face the skepticism of their fellow colleagues. They have conducted numerous rigorous scientific studies to examine various claims related to telepathy. The outcomes and their implications have caused a split among the very researchers who uncovered them.
The construction of the Egyptian pyramids, which dates back over 3,000 years, remains a mystery, as the exact method used is unknown. The prevailing belief is that a massive workforce of slaves hauled stones on sledges, yet there is no substantial evidence to support this theory. However, a software consultant from California has proposed an alternative idea involving the use of kites in the construction process.
Our memories frequently intertwine with images, such as recalling a wedding or the first day at school. Consequently, researchers acknowledges that certain aspects of his memory are poor, but he excels at recalling factual information. Similarly, like others with memory loss, he faces challenges in recognizing faces. However, he doesn't view it as a disability but rather as a distinctive way of perceiving and experiencing life.
Until recently, if you were a bold and ambitious young technologist with an innovative startup idea, you probably dedicated a significant portion of your time and energy to achieve one crucial business goal, taking your company public. Despite long-standing skepticism and even hostility toward the finance industry expressed by prominent figures in the tech sector,
From the early 1900s, when the International Athletic Federation started recording data, there has been a consistent enhancement in athletes' speed, jumping height, and ability to propel massive objects, including themselves through space. This progress is particularly evident in the power events, which demand a brief and explosive release of energy.
Including unearthing the treasures of the past, conducting scientific analysis, and engaging in creative imagination. It involves laborious work under the sun during excavations in the Middle East, and examining the source of Roman Britain. Yet, it also involves meticulous interpretation, aiming to comprehend the significance of these findings in the broader context of human history.
It is widely recognized that students from economically disadvantaged backgrounds typically face challenges in the education system. This is not only evident in New Zealand but also in Australia, Britain, and America. In an effort to address this issue of educational underachievement, the United States launched a nationwide program called Head Start in 1965.
The consensus among most researchers is that artificial intelligence, or AI, reached its peak around 1985. The public, influenced by science fiction films and fascinated by the increasing capabilities of computers, had high hopes for the field. For years, AI researchers had been suggesting that a significant breakthrough was imminent. Their collective objective was to develop machines that could emulate or replicate human abilities.
Australian sports teams are known for their strong and relentless performance, frequently emerging victorious in competitions. Their success is attributed, in part, to a comprehensive and costly network of sporting academies that prioritise science and medicine. The Australian Institute of Sport, for instance, houses and trains hundreds of young talents and professional athletes under the watchful guidance of coaches.
International trade is experiencing remarkable growth, and it is outpacing the expansion of the global economy. While the world's economy has been growing at a rate of slightly over 3% annually, the volume of trade has been increasing at a compound annual rate that is roughly double that figure. Foreign goods, ranging from food products to machinery, have become increasingly significant in nearly every nation's economy.
Certain scientists question the significance of traditional knowledge in the Arctic due to its relatively recent occupation. On the other hand, some argue that even modern weather stations in the region have only been established for the past 50 years. Our understanding of the environment still contains significant gaps, and despite extensive scientific research, many predictions remain little more than educated guesses.
Motivating employees in a growing organization is considerably easier compared to a collapsing one. During periods of expansion, as the organization hires more staff, the prospects of promotions, salary increases, and the thrill of being part of a dynamic entity foster a sense of optimism. Management can leverage this growth to attract and inspire employees. However, in times of contraction, the most talented and mobile workers are more likely to leave voluntarily.
Proven treatment available to decelerate human aging, which involves the accumulation of molecular and cellular damage leading to increased susceptibility to age-related illnesses. However, one intervention, the consumption of a nutritionally balanced and low-calorie diet, has demonstrated remarkable effectiveness across various animal species by promoting overall well-being.
resulted in reduced working hours. Workers who used to work for 12-hour days, 6 days a week, witnessed their working time gradually decrease to 10 hours daily and eventually to 8 hours, 5 days a week. Not too long ago, social planners were concerned about how people would occupy their newfound leisure time.
Served humanity in various forms. As one of the most extensively utilized and versatile manufactured materials, it can take on impressive roles, such as forming a telescope mirror, spanning the size of a tennis court, or it can be as unassuming as a small marble rolling across the ground. The applications of this flexible material have been vastly expanded through modern technologies, such as glass fiber optics.